he's getting desperate, huh? I knew his
Not
warriors weren't
desperate.
up for the job.
We're actually pretty well known for the surface.
Really? What's the name of your company? I'll tell you if I heard of them.
I'll look over to Rhoda and go like, "Will you have a name?"
Lord of Fortune.
Lords of Fortune? Ah, I do know the Lords of Fortune. They're not a company, though, at least not that I know of.
We're reaching out.
I see. And what are they doing out here?
Heard that the dwarves could use some help clearing out the dark, deep roads and everything else.
Eh. Well, I guess it's good to have extra bodies here, but you're not going to get a lot of action with House Turin. Hey, tell you what. Why don't you come speak to me a little later? Maybe we could talk about the contract you signed and renegotiate it.
Oh, well, that sounds like a nice offer. Thank you.
Whirlin?
Just don't let Torgraf know about that, obviously.
We'll think about it. Thanks.
Yeah. Excuse me, I need to get a drink. You gotta try the deep mushroom out of the Nug Hugger if you really want to put hair on your chest. Although,
I just had some of that earlier. It's really great.
by the looks of you, it'll be possible to get hair on that. Anyway,
I've tried for 20 years.
I won't. How old is Whirlin again?
30.
Okay. Titus just gives you a weird look and laughs and shrugs and walks the fuck away.
That went well, everyone. And then Whirlwind will play a single doot on his bugle.
Oh, God. What are you doing now?
Yeah, we got a day, and he said to meet him later tonight.
Yeah, let's not do that.
But he was so nice.
We could at least hear him out.
I
It
do
could
not.
play to our benefits.
I do not want to get more further wrapped up in dwarven politics than we need to, and I think potentially betraying a contract to go with a different house or personal gain would have considerable egg on our faces. I'd rather not have that.
What? You don't want Orzammar as well as Ferelden after us?
No.
We'll have Ferelden, Orzammar, Orlais. I think Navarre will be fine. And then we can reach Vinter and we'll be fine.
Maybe if we get a ship, we could just sail to a completely different continent. Maybe there's one out there.
And
I'm
that's
just-
the one where the Finari originally came from.
I'm super curious what Moscow's thinking of all this.
Mosca just watching Galvard.
CTC, just listening. It's the next day.
Before the next day, I was going to find an artisan and get them to and commission for them to do something with the lion hide, whatever they feel would best fit the hide we have, or a cape, or a headdress, or something.
Oh, you want to turn this into a cape, eh?
Yeah, something
Look.
fancy.
I could tailor that for you, though. You know, I'm doing other work here too. What house is it for?
I guess Turin, since we're currently employed by them.
All right, at least you're not asking for a shroud. That was a bad joke. Anyway, he says, "All right, well, is this red lion hide?
Yeah. It should only be a couple days old.
This is actually some good stuff. The pelt's not perfect, but
Yeah, we had to kill it, so yeah.
I could give you 25 silver for the pelt right off the bat if you want."
No thanks.
All right, so you want to turn it into a cape? You said.
Or whatever you feel like would be the best with what you have there.
I can do this into a cape. That's perfectly fine. It'll be short though, just so you know. It'll cost you too. Let's see,
That's fine.
25. I mean, I could take 25 off for the actual commission here. You said it's for House Turin. You're looking at least 40 silver. Are you paying that up front, or am I billing House Turin?
How long do you think it will take?
To shape it, maybe with my current schedule, 4 days.
Can I give you 10 silver and pay the rest in 4 days?
Yeah, you can do that. We'll do that now, do that later. That's fine.
Yep, I'll give you 1 silver on then.
All right. Pleasure doing business with you.
All right. So he's getting a cape. I'm probably also going to go ahead and look for commission here because I need to price check what it costs to put on the novice runa paralysis onto a morning star.
You need a morning star with a slot first, but
Yep, which is something I probably have to buy and or commission here. So
you go to one of the smithies and you ask them about that. He says, "Oh, you got runes?"
yeah, they just keep showing up all over the place. Honestly,
Let me take a look at that. And he actually grabs the rune out of your hand.
Mhm.
Says, "Wow, it is a rune of paralysis." Okay. All right. So this is how it works. I need to shape this into a gem, and then I insert that gem into a slot on the weapon. Now, usually they have those slots on the hilt, but I'm looking at your weapon right now. I see nothing.
Yeah.
I could carve one in there, but that's going to take a month. Usually, you're probably better off actually purchasing a new weapon.
yeah, I was thinking that too. The last time I did that with the armor, I didn't necessarily wait around for it to get done. Someone just did the finishing work on it.
You know, it's very rare I see elves carrying morning stars. But,
It's
you know
worked so
what?
far.
Well, you're like one of the first elves I've actually seen in this camp, to be fair. There was
Oh.
that other fella, though, but he was kind of weird.
I guess that kind of runs in the. Never mind.
Yeah.
So-
I mean, he was a strange one, this like bald-headed elf. Like,
fully bald. Someone
Yeah.
really does that.
yeah, he like shaved his whole head. He looked like an egg.
Oh gosh.
Made
Oh,
his
that's
ears
terrifying.
stick out. Made his ears stick out something terrible too.
I can only imagine. I'm just hoping to avoid attention all the time. That. Oh gosh, you're
Yeah.
shooting a light in that direction. It'll just bounce off, won't it?
That's what I said. What was interesting about it is he was looking to buy some swords, but he wanted dwarven made swords. I don't know why. It was very strange.
Huh.
I mean,
That's kind of
whatever.
interesting.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. All right, I could give you. And he actually says, "Look at this morning star. Feel it. Do you like it?
Ooh, it's heavy.
It's dwarven made. We have obsidian black stones right along the hilt. The entire head is made out of black steel with little tips of spikes, tips of red steel to give it a little extra kick."
Ooh. Oh, it glistens real nice too.
Yeah. And the good part is, and he points, you see the slot comes embedded with one. I can put in the rune. I can sell you the star. Here's the deal, though. It's going to cost you at least 5 sovereigns.
Ooh. Well, if I expect to be here for about a month, I know House Turin's going to pay me about 3 sovereigns for it.
Oh, you're
Actually-
working with an actual house. All right, we can
Yeah.
build them, and they'll just dock it from your pay. So you're probably not going to get your stipend for a month and a half.
Mm-hmm. But that wouldn't cover all of it. Remind me out of character.
Is that just Whirlin?
Silver, right?
Is that just Whirlin's stipend, or is that all of our stipends?
Oh, that's just Whirlin's stipend.
Yeah,
Oh,
I assumed it was 3 sovereigns each, which seems to be the case. A sovereign is 10 silver, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I can pay for the rest of it then. So Whirlin will think about it, do a little bit of the math, and go, right, so you can build them for that. They'll take it out of that, which, well, I guess if it never touches my hand anyway, it was never mine. And I got the rest in silver here, so I think that should actually cover it.
All right, so you're going to pay half now, and the rest of it will be billed to the house. Okay. And then we would inserting the rune is not a problem. It's just going to take. It might take.
I do.
It's going to take 24 hours for it to settle in after you imbue it. It's going to take maybe like 2 days to like shape it in there correctly. So 3 days before you can use the mace with the paralyzing.
Okay. That shouldn't be too long. That'll be just in time, I think.
There you go.
Meanwhile, I do have some inferior goods that we've gotten from some of our other work, if you want to take a look at these. And I have like a maul, some short sword, and some leather to like throw at him if he's interested.
Yeah. Some of this will be good for scrap. Others we could just give as weapons. All right. I mean, do you have like an actual list or how many?
Yeah, I do. I got 1 maul, 5 short swords, 2 throwing daggers, 2 short bows, 5 light leather armors.
How the fuck have you been carrying all this?
8. I just threw it in the bag. No one said to not do it.
That's where he got his gains from. He was carrying it all on his back.
And this is how Whirlin got his strength. No one told him not to.
Wow. All right, give me a second. I'm trying to find the equipment list.
Yeah, I'm looking at it too. I'm just gonna calculate what the original prices are real quick and see what that kind of comes up to.
I mean, he's gonna get since you are commissioned by a house, you do get a instead of it being like 30% of the price, you're gonna get 45. Because it's House Turin and this is a merchant. This is just a smith from. Let's see. You're probably from a friendly smith, so probably from House Tolar. So you're going to get like the 45 markup. Yes, even though this shit has to be calculated.
Right. So I'll go ahead and add up what the original is here, and then we'll just multiply that by 0.45 afterwards. So I'll go ahead and work on that on the side, and someone else can take the scene, I think.
Rodin, as Roland does math, Rodin, you were done, right? What did you want to do, Rodin?
Oof, that's a very good question. I would kind of stick around with Marius just so we get kind of a lay of things. And I'm still kind of arguing with him about dealing with dwarven nobles, because if we keep changing hands and keep hearing people out, people are going to talk, and that could be seen as an infraction on the contract, and then we're fighting an entire town of dwarves.
Yeah, that's not necessarily a good thing.
It would only be a small problem, though.
Listen. If it was just as simple as just signing our names and no ill will, fine. I'd be right there with you. But dwarven politics, as you know, are complicated, and
Mate, I'm just thinking that hearing him out, he could have a more direct approach to our goal than what Turin has.
Direct in the short term, yes, but long term, it will lead to problems. They said themselves they have golems, and I'd rather not have to fight one of those things if I can help it directly.
I just think we should do this as quickly as possible. So whichever is the direct approach, no matter the consequences, we should take. We start a civil war. We start a civil war.
Always with the that's the one thing that always bothers me about you and other Dementor mages. It's always ends justify the means. You get what you want, let everybody else sort it out, and you just leave them to their ends.
I mean, that's what being a mercenary is about.
No wonder you seem to fit the role so well. You're so used to it in your day life.
Mosca, what are you doing? Nothing. Okay. If you change your mind or if you want to do something specific, let me know as always.
Can I try and find a Shaperate, if there is one, down here?
There is no. They don't have. Ooh. You know that they have a representative of the Shaperate here that is reporting all the actions of what everybody's doing. But they usually have them confined in a separate place, away from everybody.
Okay. Because, yeah.
So they got like representatives here, but it's not the actual Shaperate. I know what you were thinking. Maybe they got like a memory crystal there. They could.
No, I was thinking if there was anyone here that is actively looking or would know about that I would know that they would know about the Anvil Breaker.
That's a good question. You would have to do an investigation roll on that one, communication.
Yeah.
Huh. Do you actually mention Anvil Breaker to anybody?
I would probably try and be vague about it.
I don't reference by name.
When you say vague about it, give me an example.
I would say I've heard about this relic that I would give the brief outline of what we got from our document without mentioning the actual name. So the legend behind Anvil Breaker without saying Anvil Breaker.
Relic? What are you treasure hunting down here? We're here to work, buddy.
More so, don't laugh, but I'm sort of a nerd for Dwarven history. I like all that stuff. So I'm just any chance I can get about learning the legend and artifacts and stuff.
Well, I mean, I guess you could technically talk to some of the noble houses on that. They probably would know more than we do.
Yeah, but I hear they don't like services, so
That's true, they don't. But I mean, if you're really that curious, there's a whole catalog of dwarven artifacts and missives that we've been recovering for months in Calhedral and around the deep roads of it. The whole goal of it all is to actually get it all ready, bring it back to Orzammar for further safekeeping, and try and restore glory to multiple houses if need be. So that's the plan.
What would it take to look at the records of these this catalog?
We have representatives of the Shaperate here that are looking at most of them, but you'd probably have to talk to a noble house to really get in with it. Right now, the only people that can really give you permission to check the records would be somebody from House Harrimont, Ivo, Bronca, or Dace. And even then, you're not doing it unsupervised. That's all
Of course.
safety precautions, you see. You're right now, House Harrimont. They're not looking for mercenaries right now. And House Bronca is too busy making golems, from what I understand.
We're already working with House Turum. So
House Torum's warrior cast. We're talking noble cast. Different group.
okay.
You know, you're not gonna get what you want in terms of that, unless if you look. Your best bet might be actually talking to some of the representatives from the noble houses.
All right. I think we have a meeting with one of them, so that's fine.
That's it. Anything else?
No, that's all.
Anybody else doing anything?
I might actually ask around town about the weird elf who came through who was completely bald, just out of curiosity, and see how far that gets.
Okay.
I mean,
I throw that in as
heard,
like
why not, right?
I literally threw that in just for a conversation. But fuck it. All right.
You can just like hand wave it around a little bit if you want.
No, go ahead. Roll communication.
All right, let's see what I can get here. Do communication 8. Nah, nobody knows. Everyone just like, oh, that was a weirdo.
Yeah, that guy was strange. He looked like a hobo to me.
He
Kind
looked
of
like a hobo, but he had the money to throw around for important swords. Weird combination.
Yeah. I know. That's what was so strange about it. He wasn't even wearing shoes.
What in the world?
But then again,
What person doesn't wear shoes?
I guess elves.
Shoes for less.
I mean, elves don't wear shoes. Apparently, are you wearing shoes?
I'll look down. I'll look back up. Like, yes, of course. It's convenient.
He probably was one of those daily shelves, like the forest walkers.
Dalish. Oh, right. Those wild ones that just live out there. How do people live like that?
How do you live on the surface like this anyway? You can fall into the sky any minute.
Well, usually you live in a city.
Oh, that's why we're not falling in the sky. That's why they built the cities. Clever.
Yes, a greater, more superstitious misinformation mission accomplished.
But yeah, whatever that hobo elf, whoever it was, is just a weirdo. I mean, why are you looking for him anyway?
I don't know. I got a whole day to burn and nothing else to do.
You should go drinking like every other normal human being. Oh wait, you're not human.
That's a really long story there. You see, it starts in Kirkwall, and
Oh, that. Say no more. I know about the shit that happened there.
I'm getting my drinking back though. The stuff here is actually really nice.
My sister's third cousin, who was kicked out of Orzammar, she set up a shop in Kirkwall, a flower shop. it burned to the ground when like that mage blew up the place and started like raping and murdering everyone.
Oh wow!
Disgusting.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Did she have to
Supposedly,
move back home after that?
oh no, she's dead, but she was already
Oh,
dead to the stone
so
anyway, so
sorry.
it doesn't matter. Ah, fuck
Oh.
her. She was kicked out for a reason.
Oh, I mean, she started a flower shop. That actually sounds kind of nice. I wish I could have seen that.
She started a flower shop with stolen money.
Hmm.
That's
And
why.
Warland just like starts pondering like the nature of like, is everything we have right now for our mercenary work stolen money? And just goes on an existential crisis.
Are we the baddies?
Next
we the-
thing, Mary's is gonna come in and go, it's like, hey, Warland, I got a cool skull emblem from,
I got
it's from our
skull.
home.
Oh god.
Yeah. Right. Well, that's Warland's attempt at social interaction and biding time.
All right. Anybody else, or are we going to move on to the next day?
I think we're good.
Okay. If we are good. The next day comes, and you are summoned by Torgif, and you eventually get a audience with a dwarf. You notice several other. So you're waiting to see the dwarves. So it's going to take a little time.
This meeting, so just to clarify, was Jess with the warrior, or he's already arranged the meeting with everyone else and the warrior will just happen to be there?
He's arranging a meeting with Lord Dace.
Okay, so this is the big meeting already then. Okay, so we'll just have to see how that
Yes.
goes. Okay.
It's early morning. He's currently in a meeting with the other noble houses to explain what's going on. And in fact, there's like about a dozen or so people in there, like even more than that. And I've also been using this time to actually get their tokens ready.
Okay.
They're not like uploaded yet, so I do apologize. I do have 2 of them uploaded. You do see 3 people and an entourage walk out. The 3 that look the most important. The first is a woman, a female dwarf with a braided lock of hair that is almost curled like a beard around her neck to her bottom. The second is a blonde-haired dwarf that looks pretty old. His eyes look like he hasn't slept that much lately. The third is another dwarf with a whitish beard, baldish head, and a whitish yellow beard. You notice he has like interesting braids across his the bulk of his beard, and he has this really twirly mustache with like a scowl on his face. And they walk out with like an entourage. You also notice within that entourage is Tidax, who is with. He seems to be following Haramont, or he actually says Lord Haramont to the dwarf that looks like he hasn't slept in a few days. So at least you can identify who he is. To the dwarf that looks like he hasn't slept.
Far so good, yeah.
You're then ushered inside chamber, and then you see a couple of other people. This dwarf with a short beard but a long mustache. It's reddish and gray in color. And this dwarf with a black beard. Did they both show up? I just want to make sure they showed up.
Yep, they did.
Yeah, they're here.
All right.
You're good.
The one.
Got the other Turin.
Okay. All right. The one dwarf mentions, "Good evening. My name is Ronus Deus. I've been told by Master Torgif that you are now members of House Turin, at least by proxy."
That'd be correct. Contracts and everything.
He doesn't say anything, but he gives you all a sizing up look.
Whirlin continues to look like
Let's see.
Whirlin.
Says, yes, you guys might do nicely. Tell me, how long have you been a company?
A few months now, I think.
Let's see. Yeah, I think about 4.
Yeah, close to half a year. So
Sounds about right. Yes.
Not bad, not bad. All right. And what jobs have you done previously that would be of note? I was told by Torgif that you've killed demons.
we
Yes.
were most recently in Kirkwall. We dealt with some remaining demons from their problem up there. And in the last day or so, we actually killed a red lion.
Those are actually pretty tough as well. Tell me, how discreet are you?
Whirlin
We
is
can-
almost about to say not at all, but I'm sure Rodin will go ahead and just put his hand over Whirlin's mouth first.
We can be as discreet as like we never existed at all.
Well, that would be impressive, considering all three of you are stick out a little bit.
We surprise people.
Our opponents have a tendency to underestimate us.
Can't imagine why, though.
Most always due to those that are the biggest threat in front of them. All right. Well, here's the deal, Torgif. You mentioned about this plan of yours to upstage the golems. Can you please explain it? And Torgif then introduces. He says his best warrior here, Rudolph, is the one that he wants to sort of lead House Turin right now. And that he and you guys are to accompany him into the deep roads, into an area that is earmarked for clearing by it was supposed to be House Braska. But the group has agreed to give this a chance to see if this is something that could be more cost effective using the actual manpower they have instead of wasting time getting golems to do all the work. Because while the golems are doing a good job, the biggest problem is that they take a while to do their job. If you can do it quicker and more efficiently, they may switch the contracts if things are around there. Ronus says, I want to point out that it was very difficult to even convince the others of participating in this, because if you fail, that is a loss of time and resources and will look very bad for House Dace. Do you understand?
Of course. I mean, we're always looking to try to do our best. I'm sure we can do it today, too.
Keep in mind that it was deadlocked. Only House Ivo actually supported this plan.
Oh,
So-
you had to break the tie, I believe?
No, the deadlock means no decision was made.
Oh, politics.
Yeah.
Oh, politics. That's a mood.
In 3 days, they're going to be sending golems down from House Broska into this this area in the deep roads we need to clear. I want to send you today instead, and you have 3 days to clear it out completely.
How how much time travel will it take to reach the area?
We estimated it'll be at least 4 hours from Calhiral to get to this Tig, or excuse me, to get to these roads. Supposedly, they will lead to a crossing area that will hopefully be a good connecting spot to Orzammar, to the other Tigs. Anything you fight down there, obviously kill it, but be thorough. Anything you find down there, if you can carry it, collect it so we can catalog it. Everything comes back to me. Are we clear?
Of course.
At the moment, what seems like the dangers that we'll face?
Well, most of the fighting has been just deep stalkers and spiders. But we've also had sights and dealings with Darkspawn, remnants from probably what they controlled here. So chances are that's what you're going to be facing. Will it be a horde? Hopefully not. We haven't really mapped out fully where this is going, so you need to be thorough in mapping it out for us as well.
I'll be sure to take extra paper and take good notes.
That's actually what part of your job. Rudolph will be the one that will be leading the charge, if you will.
I'll go ahead and turn to Rudolph and go and just nod.
Rudolph nods and he says, "It's actually, I gotta do a different voice. It's actually a great honor. I'm gonna do my suave, I am
He's cool.
I am Smiling Bob. Remember those commercials about Excedrin or some shit like that with Bob smiling?
And that was you, Rudolph? Oh my gosh.
And I feel like I'm going to Zach Brannigan territory.
Waves after waves of my men, yes.
Remember, everybody, never underestimate the element of surprise. Surprise! A lever.
No, Rudolph actually says, I am looking forward to it. Hopefully you are as good as you gentlemen say you are. Because it's basically me and the three of you going in there.
Oh, wait, no. Just you. Okay. I
That's
understand.
the idea is that they want to show that the warriors of House Rodin, the warriors of House Turin can lead other men and mercenaries and clear the roads faster than any golem.
Don't worry. We've been known to fight as if there was 4 of us.
Well, a team of 4 will move much quicker, says Ronus. And you also probably can take out most threats with as long as your party has the ability to fight. And quite frankly, the fact that we have a magical advantage might give us the edge we need.
It's helped us so far, and so hopefully it'll help you the same way.
Usually, look, I don't know head over head for feet to what magic does. Whatever all you do is fine. So long as it actually gets the job done, I don't care. And so long as we can actually rub it in the faces of House Broska a little bit, that's fine, might be.
Well, hopefully we'll get you some fun once we get you back.
Now remember, any artifacts you find, if you can bring it back, make sure you catalog it and be careful with them. If you find something bigger, like another Tig or other ruins or anything old, make a mark of it on a map somewhere so we can actually mark that for our own territories and we can claim that as well.
Of course.
Understood.
I'll leave you to it. Go see Torgif. Go speak to Torga for any other final preparations you need.
Gotcha.
Do you still have your regular mace?
Yes, I do. I didn't
Okay,
sell
just
that
check. I'm just checking because if
And
you
also,
did,
I noticed that I'll probably end up getting the new one by the time we get back. So
yes, I'm just making a note of that.
probably
Torgif
going to
said-
be remembering it, so I made a note.
Torgif says, and this is why I hate politics.
My head's spinning.
Yeah. Look, Ronif is.
I was Roden actually smiles at what Torgif just said. All right.
Look, Ronus is using you for an advantage, nothing more. But it's going to bring our house more prestige and honor as long as we do it right. Do you know what I had to do to convince him to even let you go down there with Rudolph?
And we'll start stuttering and trying to think, and it'll probably get interrupted first.
Something probably involving a few favors down the line that you are going to have to smile through your teeth in order to comply.
That's not a very nice thing to think about. Get your mind out of the gutter, Roden.
I had to convince him not to try and poison or destroy the golems to sabotage their efforts. That's what Ronus wanted to do.
Would poison even really work on a golem?
I don't know how.
Why would he want that? Aren't the golems? Doesn't he want the golems?
He probably wants to win.
He wants to get the contracts. He wants to look the best out of the houses here, even better than King Haramont himself. It's not going to happen. It's a zero-sum game, if you ask me. But we get the glory in the end. We prove our house has some great warriors. We get further commissions. So there is a benefit for us, but we're doing it the right way, not the sneaky way.
Yeah.
Rudolph actually pipes up and says, honestly, I wouldn't approve of any other way anyway. So I'm hoping you gentlemen are at least willing to do this honestly without any sort of negative advantages.
Of course.
I'm not sure.
Always as I am.
I'm not sure how we could apply negative advantages to us since we're the ones leading the charge.
Generally speaking,
Let's put it this. But let me put it this way, says Rudolph. We're not leaving. I don't want to leave traps for others to find. I don't want to backstab anybody if we can help it. Take any advantage we can in the thick of battle, but we take the battles head on. Does that seem fair to you, gentlemen?
I think so.
I'd say that's fair, yes.
Warriors honor and all that, yes.
Torgif says, by the way, since you're doing this incognito, we want you to leave now. Sending you guys down into the deep roads is not a problem. We'll just say you're going on guard duty. But going where you have to go, you're going to have to walk a little bit longer on your guard duty, if you catch what I mean.
Walking is the second best thing I can do these days.
Considering how dangerous uncharted deep roads are, can you at least spare some supplies?
Oh, we were going to give you supplies before you go. We got food, provisions, camping supplies, extra weapons, and if you need it, but it looks like you got that already set. The only other thing I would give you is this, and he pulls out some vials of potions. They look like light healing potions and 2 salves. He says these are just some.
How many of the lights?
You got 4. No, excuse me. He says there's 4 of you. Yeah, 4 light healing potions, or minor health potions, I guess is how the game puts it.
Yeah.
And the 2 of the other things are lesser rock salves.
Ooh, okay.
He says, those salves, you slather them on you, then no element from the earth can hurt you. Supposedly.
Good to know. Thank you.
And the potions are self-explanatory. We don't have that much supplies. Usually on guard duty, you get one potion and that's it. So, any other supplies you bring for yourselves, I'll let you get set up, but I need you to leave within an hour.
We'll make preparations.
I got my bag ready.
Rudolph says, I'm good. Whenever you are, I will meet you down near the deep roads.
So let's see. So let's take a look at this. So each of us is going to get a potion, I think.
Yep, you all
Or
get
other-
one minor health potion.
Okay.
And I'll go ahead and take one of the rock salves.
Rudolph will take the second one.
Okay, that's good. I think we'll probably end up working together side by side, Rudolph. The other two are kind of backline, if you know what I mean.
Backline. I thought only one of you was a mage.
All three of us are mages.
Sorry.
They're not as comfortable up front.
That seems like a dare. I could take that front.
Orla just like crosses his arms and goes, I dare you. I don't think you can.
All right, you're back line. I'm front line.
I'm not being backline.
You can be in the
I
middle then.
wouldn't do it too. Okay, we have three of us in the front now. And Rob, you're muted.
Hello?
Yes. All right, you're back.
If I may remind you, you're here on the behest of House Turin. Technically, you should be listening to me.
Oh,
Of course.
that's
That's
right.
just-
I'm sorry.
Party banter.
And
Party banter.
this is what you guys talk about while you're on the road?
Well,
Generally
usually I
speaking,
pull out
no.
my bugle and Berlin starts pulling out the bugle.
Rowan just grabs bugle and slowly lowers it back.
Berlin just has like a sad expression on his face.
Have
If I
you met Snappy and Boo yet?
Oh, Snappy probably isn't going to go on the journey on this journey, I think.
I don't want
where are
to.
you gonna put them?
Whirlin is going to go ahead and ahead of time try to make sure that they have a good spot. Maybe he might actually leave them in someone's custody and pay them to keep an eye on them for a handful of days.
That's not horrible of an idea.
Not exactly a good idea either.
So, how much money should
Real
I
quick,
throw
you know-
at it?
They'll ask, because it's a wild animal, they'll ask at least a sovereign.
Okay, I will throw a sovereign at it, and they will be taken care of.
So you know what the rock salve does. When you smear it across your skin, it hardens, giving you a +2 bonus to your armor, but it gives you a -4 penalty to speed.
All right, stronger but slower. Got it. How long does this last?
It lasts for an hour, and it takes like 5 minutes to apply.
Got it. Not in battle. Understood. Okay. So, I've taken care of my pets. We've got some basic equipment here. Anything else you guys want to do before we go? If you got extra money, you could probably buy even more potions if you really wanted. How many?
That is up to you.
That's good. Roland is loaded down on potions right now.
I got a few myself.
All right, Whirland's
Where's-
ready. Does some
what?
stretches.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone else good to
Alright.
go?
We are suited up.
Let's see how you do, Marius.
Anyone want to make a bet to see who gets tainted by the Darkspawn first?
I'm just glad we wanted to figure out what happens if Vargas ends up devouring Darkspawn, Iker. I don't want that in my mind.
Technically, it's win-win. If you don't turn into Darkspawn, you get the money. If you do, you don't care about it anymore. Huh.
Whirlin? Don't ever say that again.
Hey, I'm not the one who started a bet.
No, I was thinking. I was counting my blessings that we weren't going to have Snappy here.
Oh,
And-
Snappy's not with us.
Good, because I don't want him to potentially attack a Darkspawn, devour its Ichor, and potentially mutate on us. Darkspawn blood is not something you mess around with.
I just didn't want him to be involved in any official business. This is going to be a bunch of fighting. He could get hurt.
Oh, this is where you draw the line with keeping a Vargas pet.
Yeah. He's just a baby. He's like a week old.
A baby that could eat you?
Nah, he's not big enough yet.
The very fact you have to preface that with yet is a problem. I feel bad for the girl that's with us.
Rodin, I think you just hate animals.
No! I love
That's what
animals.
I think. This whole time, every single time you see Snappy, you just snap at him. I think maybe you're just not an animal person.
Animals. I like Mabari. I love Falcons. I hate monsters.
Well, Mabaris are kind of scary.
Because they are bred for companionship and hunting. That's how Ferelden's breed them.
Well, Snappy's gonna be my companion.
If that thing bites your hand off, I just want to let you know that I called it, and that you owe me 10 silver. Got it?
Okay. Wait, what kind of bet is this? When do I win?
We have witnesses. The bet is on.
And Marla just looks confused. Raises bugle. Oh, there we go.
Map too
Then we just
small.
need Rodin on the map too.
Oh, sorry.
It's all good.
I feel like the map is super small.
Yeah, it's scaled different. That's all.
Let me see if I can fix that.
Well, I mean, it depends how big do you think the tunnels are. Right now, they're wide enough for like 5 people abreast, which that's still pretty small.
I will make it slightly bigger then, I think.
Okay.
But it is also almost 2 o'clock, so I think getting
All right,
right
now
to
it's
the
the time to
birds
go
here.
ahead and wrap it up.
Yeah, I'd say it's a good spot.
All right, as our group descends into the tunnels to fight the Darkspawn, will they recover? Who will change and turn into a terrible thing? Will Mosca do more behind the scenes than we realize? Find out next time.
You guys got moved into an area that you're not supposed to be in. I apologize.
Oh, that's okay.
It's okay. The resolution of the map was so low. Low end. It didn't really spoil a whole lot.
Yeah, it's like, oh, cool, we found the tunnel.
I have like higher end maps for specific areas, but this is sort of like the overworld map, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What this is you're gonna have to do mapping. Like I'm thinking like you might need some grid paper for this type mapping.
Luckily, I have some from literally a decade ago to still use. And I'm terrible at mapping. All right.
Also make the hexes bigger, just so we can do that.
Yep. All right. I guess in the meanwhile,
But anyway, I will get to the experience in a moment. First off, thoughts on today's session?
I had lots of fun.
I enjoyed myself as well, although this is more of a personal taste thing than a criticism. It's that dwarven politics, particularly in the setting of Dragon Age, can really bog things down in terms of pacing. But he kept things going in an interesting way.
Yeah, I've been following along pretty well, and I kind of know like, oh yeah, we could do this or this or this, and I've just been trying to play the character a little stupid. But we are choosing literally the direct route, which is probably the best route.
Yeah, the direct route is one of the better routes to go on here. There's a lot of different ways this could have played out, honestly. And you are right, the politics can bog it down. God damn it, bogged it down in Origins so bad.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
It was the longest stretch of that game, and it's probably the most interesting from a lore standpoint, but the most annoying from a gameplay standpoint.
It's particularly telling that the only thing I remember about doing stuff in the Dwarven area was the dungeon crawl through the deep roads more so than the Orzammar politics. Like, that's just a big haze of nothing, you know?
Yeah.
Oh god. Yeah.
In terms of
I tried
at least.
I did try to keep this as simple as possible. I know I don't want to overcomplicate it, but I'm hoping it's, as you said, at least it's easy to follow along. That's already a win. So that's step one. I'm hoping others do too. And obviously keeping it as paced as possible, much as possible, is also the other thing I want to do. So that's why you're going in immediately. You got one guy who's your handler. You also needed a warrior, so that's as powerful as you are as 3 mages. You're not fighting one creature this time. You go in here, unless if it's a broodmother.
What are you talking about? I'm a warrior.
Anyway.
Well, now that the only person who can't die is the warrior, otherwise we fail.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. If Rudolph does die, you're kind of fucked.
Well, we got a lot of health potions, we got the salves, and I can literally heal, so I think we probably ought to be good. Probably.
You say that.
Yeah, I say it.
But anyway, for XP, the Red Lion fight was actually a lot tougher, so I'm going to give you 300 for that.
Yay.
And I'll give you 200 for the politicking and role-playing today. So 500 total for today.
All right. That'll put us up to 4,950. Only 1,050 more to go.
I'll throw in another 50 on it, so we'll make it 1,000 even to go.
Yeah, there you go. Even number. Technically, it was even before, but now it's more even.
Yeah. If you know, for my general flow of things, you've probably noticed this already, I don't do a lot of combat most of the time. It's a lot of talking.
Yeah, and that makes sense. And it makes for good storytelling.
That's actually totally fine. A lot of sessions I've experienced recently have been much more role-play and talk-centric, more so than combat. So this is kind of the norm rather than the exception for me, personally.
Starting next week, though, you're going into a dungeon, a literal dungeon crawl, so we're probably going to be there.
We have a reason to be there.
It's the deep stakes. It's the deep roads. It's for me. It's one of my favorite lore justified dungeon crawl sections in a fantasy setting.
I'm honestly shocked that none of you brought up Anvil Breaker with Dace. By the way,
Well, we didn't have a chance because I was going to do it alone, but he sort of wanted it off.
You did have a single hour to go and try to talk with him.
Yeah, but I thought he would have just said, no, go away. I don't talk to services.
In public, he might say that. In private, it'll be different.
So maybe we could start up next time and see if Marius can do that if you really want to.
We will see what happens. Okay. So you have a temporary companion with Rudolph. And obviously, Mosca is skulking around somewhere as well, as always, doing whatever Mosca does.
Just behind the scenes.
And you guys have some decent equipment, so you might be okay. It'll really depend on what I throw at you, but I have ideas.
Ah, yes, broodmothers everywhere. Got it.
Why do I feel like as you're talking, I'm just imagining a big, giant, target painted on my chest with a neon sign behind me flashing "Get him."
Oh, you aren't imagining that.
Now, my ideas are a little it's more than just deep stalkers and spiders and darkspawn. That's what they've been encountering, but you're going in uncharted territory, so I got to throw in something a little bit.
Yeah, find the fun.
Anyway, thank you so much for being here, everybody, today. I want to thank, as always, Theta and Griffin for allowing us to host this game for you on mornings and afternoons. Real quick, shout out plugs. My name's Rob G. I work for TechRaptor.net, and I write stuff there sometimes.
Similar shout outs. I'm Tyler Chansey. I also write for TechRaptor.net, and most recently I have put out interesting thoughts regarding the release of, or at least the pending release of Metroid Dread, and of course my review of Dungeons & Dragons Dark Alliance is live.
Yep.
How did it review?
I was kind of on the more nicer side of reviews, but even on that end, it's like in a 6.5 out of 10 territory. Not terrible, but you can see the flaws.
All right.
Go read the article and find out more. And
Yeah.
last but not least, I'm sorry.
Yep. And I'm Griffin, and this is Theta over here. We run the stream. Come back later today for Dungeons and Dragons, where Rob will be with us, and we'll be, well, doing a whole bunch more political intrigue, I think. And also,
And hopefully
beating
my
up people and kidnapping.
And hopefully my character won't die again.
Yeah, that's the spirit.
I just have a bad feeling that I'm gonna get like crit 3 times again, and it's gonna happen no matter what. But
And
we'll
then
see.
you'll bring in your character's third cousin, who looks exactly the same and has the same abilities.
Oh, yes.
Lives in the woods.
Your character's dead. Oh yeah, so sad. So anyway, here's my new character.
That's kind of what happened last week, actually. Anyway,
Yeah.
I'll talk to everybody later.
All right. Have a good day, everyone.